I am 29, male, have always had to fight for what I earned. My father remarried when I was 16, and with that came my stepsister, who was the same age as me. From day one, she was the golden child. My father, who was never particularly affectionate toward me, practically worshipped the ground she walked on. Meanwhile, I was just there. It wasn't outright cruelty, just little things that added up. She got everything handed to her. New car at 16, private tutoring, connections for internships. I had to work for everything, but I didn't complain. I figured if I just focused on my own path, none of that would matter. So I did exactly that. I got into a top university, studied engineering, and dedicated years to my research. My work was in renewable energy, and after countless late nights, setbacks, and pushing through financial struggles, I developed something groundbreaking, a real game changer. I applied for a patent, keeping it quiet until it was finalized. When I finally got it secured, I felt like my hard work had finally paid off. And then my father pulled the most insane stunt of his life. One day, he called me over. We hadn't spoken much in the past year, so I was already suspicious. When I arrived, he and my stepsister were sitting in the living room, both looking smug. That was my first red flag. Then he hit me with it. "I gave your research patent to your stepsister," he said, like he was announcing a dinner reservation. "She deserves it more." I just stared at him. Surely, he wasn't serious. "She's been struggling to find her place," he continued, as if that justified stealing my work. "You'll have other chances, but she needs this." I looked at my stepsister. She was smiling, like she had won something. She even had the audacity to say, "I'll make sure to represent the family name well." At that moment, I felt something snap, not in anger, but in clarity. They thought they had me. They thought I would just roll over and accept it. I took a deep breath and said, "Okay." Their smug expressions faltered. My father expected a fight. He wanted me to yell, to beg, to make a scene. But I didn't. I just walked out. Because what they didn't know was that the patent they had was useless. I had already secured the real patent months ago. What they had was an outdated draft, one that meant absolutely nothing legally. And now, I had front row seats to their downfall. The next few weeks were almost comedic. My stepsister went on a publicity spree, bragging about her innovation all over social media. My father started introducing her to business connections, acting like he had raised some kind of genius. Then came a cherry on top. She scheduled a press conference to announce her patent and future business plans. I watched everything unfold in silence, waiting for the perfect moment to strike. And that moment arrived faster than I expected. A well-known investor reached out to me, confused. He had done his due diligence and found my name on the real patent, not hers. He asked if I was aware that someone else was trying to claim credit for my work. "Oh, I'm aware," I told him. "Let's give them a little time." The day of the press conference, my father and stepsister stood in front of a packed room, full of investors, industry professionals, and reporters. She launched into her rehearsed speech about her innovation, the years of hard work, and the future of renewable energy. I wasn't there in person, but I was watching a live stream. And then, right on cue, a journalist raised a hand. "Can you clarify something? We did a patent search, and this invention is actually registered under another name." My stepsister blinked. "That's not possible," she said quickly. The journalist continued, "The patent is registered to my name." "How do you explain that?" The camera caught everything. Her face going pale, my father shifting uncomfortably. Then, right on schedule, a legal representative entered the room and handed them both official cease and desist orders. In front of everyone. The chaos that followed was beautiful. Investors started walking out. Reporters swarmed them, demanding answers. My stepsister looked like she was about to cry, while my father stood there, speechless for the first time in his life. But I wasn't done yet. I posted my own announcement online, showing actual proof of my patent, the date it was secured, and my plans to move forward with real investors. Within minutes, the internet flipped on them. Articles started popping up about the failed fraud attempt, and my stepsister's name was everywhere, for all the wrong reasons. My father tried to do damage control, calling me that night. I let go to voicemail. He showed up at my apartment the next day, and against my better judgment, I let him in, just to hear what nonsense he'd try to spin. "Son, we need to talk," he started, like this was some minor disagreement. I didn't say anything, just waited. He sighed. Look, I only did this to help your sister. She's been struggling, and I thought, she's not my sister. I cut him off. And you thought you could just give away my work? He had the nerve to act frustrated, like I was the one being unreasonable. You don't understand, No, you don't understand, I interrupted. Then I pulled out the legal documents. I'm suing you both. His face went pale. You wouldn't do that. We're family. I laughed. Funny how you only remember that when you need something. You made your choice. I kicked him out, and for the first time in my life, I felt free. The lawsuit? Oh yeah, I went through with it. My stepsister lost everything. Her credibility, her future in the industry. But I wanted a legal ruling to make it official. My father tried to fight it, but with all the public evidence stacked against them, they had no chance. The court ruled in my favor. My stepsister was forced to issue a public apology as part of a settlement to avoid worse damages, and my father had to pay a massive fine for his role in the attempted fraud. And the best part? I launched my own company using my patented technology. Without my father, without his money, without his influence. Now, whenever someone asks about my father, I just say, oh, you mean the guy who torched his own reputation trying to steal from his own son? Haven't heard from him. Poetic, isn't it? Oh, and if you like this, hit that subscribe button. Unlike my father and stepsister, I actually build things from scratch.